I take you to the nicest places, eh, sweetheart?
Oh, does it mean you're buying, honey?
Don't even think about it.
Oh, men these days. So, we're here to find a dame called Natasha.
I have a hunch she won't be hard to find. Let's mingle and try to avoid suspicion.
Just like always.
No, Marty, not like always. This time it's for real. Two whiskeys, kid, and no horsing around.
I've never heard that one before. Sonny, you gotta drive, you know?
Yeah, you're right, Marty. Hey, Longface, give me a glass of tap water too, okay?
Yes, sir. Coming right up. That wasn't exactly what I meant.
As I recall, you're always bragging about hiding your shotgun in your coat so well, no one can see it.
Sure. Maybe I have it with me now. What?
Well, do you see that bottle, Marty? That's a 28-year-old Golden Eagle whiskey.
Of all the furry gods, you're right.
And they've just left it on the bar. Someone ordered it, got so drunk he forgot all about it. So,
we're confiscating it as evidence.
yeah, well, more like stealing it. But if it's easier for you.
You're twisted, pal. But to be honest, I've no objections. Hey, there's Philmar.
Who? Oh, yes, Philmar. Because that's what he calls himself, right?
You know him well?
We had some seriously wild cases together, yes. Mainly in Averia, way before Clawville. Another place and another life.
Sounds good. Like the blurb of some cheap pulp fiction book.
Yeah, it was the exact opposite. But the old bird's worth saying hi to. Well, well, if it isn't the great detective, Marlowe.
Blow me, Sonny. You know I don't use that name anymore.
Okay, Mr. Dumbass alias Phil Marlowe.
So says someone who tried to go undercover with the Feather Pillow Mafia is a turkey. Right, Mr. Turk Cayman?
Hey, that was a long time ago. I was young.
And I stick to my principles and my stupidity. Phil Marlowe, and that's that. Don't rile me up, you old fart.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I'm a little clucked tonight.
I know the feeling, pal. By the way, what are you two doing here? You stick out a bit. Are you here for a good old-fashioned beating?
We stick out? Man, you look terrible. Like someone who sat on an electric pole.
Don't even ask. I feel exactly like that.
You want a case?
5 feet tall, half of that legs. Angelic voice, demonic eyes, just the usual.
Oh, boy.
And you?
Something like that. Just don't know the exact numbers yet. A dame named Natasha. She called us here. If I'm not mistaken, the joint is hers.
Yeah, she owns the joint, amongst others. Well, good luck, guys. That broad has a reputation. She's not the kind to toy with, if you know what I mean.
Any useful information?
For free?
Stop clucking around, Philmar.
All right, but just because of the old days. Look for me after you've talked to her. You wouldn't understand what I have to say about her before then. Don't leave unless you're thrown out, in which case, you know the drill. We don't know each other, I'll deny you in a blink.
Good to see you too, old pal. We'll be back.
Gentlemen, your drinks.
Sorry, but we have to run. Thanks anyway, Bojack.
My name is not Bojack. I tip you, pal, but I don't have any change, so... Sure, sir. The Tsar welcomes you back anytime.
Sounds good, Bojack. Tell me, Hey Breath, have you seen Natasha tonight?
Not yet, sir, but she's coming on soon.
Well, can you tell me anything about Mr. Ibn Wessler?
Sir, I don't want to.
What about, let's see, $5 maybe?
But, sir, you haven't even paid for your drinks yet. Yeah, stop riding on the details, Big Nose. You do your job, and we'll do ours, okay?
I mean, we're not here for work, of course. We're just here to relax.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Just a little fun. Of course, gentlemen. She has pretty long legs. I mean, pretty and long legs for a squirrel, but I don't want to be prejudiced.
We're not here to stare at pretty squirrels. We're here to investigate, remember? So, where the hell is Natasha?
Let's ask that stud over there with those nice gals.
That guy looks way too horny for my taste.
Oh man, your sense of humor is bad as ever.
You just need to get used to it again.
What? This is the life, huh? What's this guy do? Real estate? Mob accountant? Or is he a movie star?
He looks like a coat hanger to me.
That was actually worse than the previous joke.
I try.
This is the life, huh?
He looks... I try. I was hoping to have missed the main event.
You're a rusty old cock, that's why.
So says the little butt jam.
But what? That's not even a word.
It is now, all because of you. You should feel honored. Butt jam.
You know, Sonny, sometimes you're like an evil little child.
What is it, butt jam?
Nothing, old fart. A fox is a wolf who sends flowers.
What?
Oh, nothing. I read it somewhere.
Fascinating. I didn't know you could read.
Ha ha ha. Very funny.
This guy is certainly not a gangster henchman.
Of course he's not.
Just act nonchalant.
No, it can't be.
What now?
Is that Olivia?
No, Marty.
Hey, Olivia.
Are you talking to me?
It's me, Marty McChicken.
Oh, God.
What a pleasant surprise. The Rooster Copper's in person.
Chicken police. But yeah, Mr. Wessler, you could say so. The name's...
Sunny Featherland, of course, of course. Chicken Police. Your partner is, he is,
Marty McChicken. Sir, I just introduced myself to your lady companion seconds ago.
Oh yeah. I'm so happy to see you.
Hello, boys.
So, to what do we owe this pleasure, gentlemen?
Yeah, so, we were, just in the neighborhood, and...
Cut the crap, Marty. All right, we're here for your sweetheart, Natasha.
Oh, I see.
No big deal. Just a blackmail thing. You know, horrifying threats written on the wall with blood-red paint. The usual stuff. You must be familiar with this kind of thing.
Oh yeah, indeed. It's, nasty business. But I didn't know Natasha hired a detective because of this simple matter, but to be honest, I understand. I would have taken matters into my own hands, you see. But I'm kind of busy.
Mr. Wessler had a meeting with Attorney General Hamtaro yesterday, so he's rather tired. If you would excuse us.
Oh, dear Olivia, it's okay. These gentlemen are just doing their job, right? And if I've heard correctly, they're notoriously thorough. So, how can I help you?
We've got a few questions, if you don't mind.
I'm at your service.
Nice bunker you got here.
Well, thank you, but it's not mine. Not anymore. But I'm sure you already know that. Listen, detective. If you want to know something, please ask straight, huh?
All right, Mr. Wessler, let's make this a bit more professional.
I'm not as exciting as people tend to believe. I grew up in a poor family of many siblings. I'm the only one still alive, unfortunately. My career started with a shoe store, and now, here I am.
I wouldn't call that an average life. Shoe store owner to mob boss.
How dare you speak to Mr. Wessler like that?
Leave it, Olivia, dear. It's just provocation.
I'm sorry if I offended you, Mr. Wessler. Shall we talk about something else?
Everybody knows Mr. Hayworth. He's an antique piece of furniture in this city, so to speak.
Only a bit worn out.
It's not my fault that he's so much in debt, detective, but the name of his family still rings quite loud in Clawville.
Is that still worth anything?
The name is just their name, of course, but the man behind the name is another matter, Mr. Featherland.
You're a pragmatic rat.
Thank you. Look, detective, if you want to know something, just ask.
All right, Mr. Wessler. Has your assistant been working for you long?
Are you talking about me?
Yes, I'm talking about you, ma'am.
Let me answer your question then. I've been in Mr. Wessler's employment for 6 months. Why do you ask?
Oh, just routine questioning, you know. Most of them aren't good for anything. Just killing time.
It sounded rude to me.
Yeah, please forgive her, detective. Olivia's a real firecracker.
Wessler's a tricky guy. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about him, so I have to be cunning. I can't just pin him against a wall. Yet. How did you feel when you heard about the blackmail?
Honestly, I found it ridiculous.
And now?
Now I'm kinda interested. But I wouldn't call it blackmail yet. They're just empty threats. There were no demands.
Good point.
Thank you. Are we done?
No, not quite.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You seem a very busy man. May I ask what you do?
It's, uninteresting.
Would you elaborate?
I got a small share in the meat substitute business. If the new product works, maybe we can make your job easier.
You mean reduce predation in Clawville?
There are such plans. If you're interested, talk to Olivia, my assistant. She's an expert in what she does, unlike me.
Thank you. That's it for now. You're very taciturn, Mr. Wessler, though I've heard you're quite the speaker.
Look, I'll gladly talk to anyone about business, and even happier to talk about art. But I'm no fan of interrogation on a night out. Are you even on duty?
Sorry for any offense, Mr. Wessler. Let's talk about something else. Wessler is tougher than I thought, and he's secretive. It's time to gently beat around the bush. Were there any similar incidents in Natasha's past? I mean, threats, blackmail, enemies, or insane fans. Psychopath pianists, perhaps.
I don't know about enemies, but she's a celebrity. A star shining bright in Clawville's night sky. Do you understand? She gets endless fan mail. It could be anybody. I wouldn't overreact.
Natasha doesn't feel that way.
I've noticed.
Do you think one of her fans is the culprit? Someone who can't take rejection, maybe.
Why not? It's quite common.
It's a typical motive, indeed. Any ideas who it could be?
Yeah. Attorney General Hamtaro is obsessed with Natasha. But he's, more like the kiss on the hand, flowers bowing type. Throwing bricks through the window is not his style. I can't think of anybody else. Or rather, I can think of everybody else. About half the city, actually.
I get it. Would you be willing to testify at the station?
You're joking, right?
Maybe I can get you an invitation. Believe me, you'd love it. The coffee's good, but the chairs are kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, you have a peculiar sense of humor. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So Natasha feels like she's in grave danger, yet she's still going out alone.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. But I'm 100% sure of her loyalty. She's gone out very rarely since this started, and mostly in my company. Yeah, you know, I'm not sure if you do, but, in our social circles, banquets and dinners are frequent.
Illegal gambling nights.
You got me there. Yeah, you're right. Natasha is crazy about the roulette wheel.
Always putting it all on the red, right?
Yeah, you're a real rotten bastard, Sonny. Although, yeah, always on the red. You're right.
So, can we meet your lady?
I don't see why not. But first, please, listen to her sing. She's on soon.
Thank you for your time. We'll be seeing you.
I have no doubt about that, unfortunately.
Hey, we should grab a coffee or something, Olivia. You know, for old time's sake.
Pleasure to meet you, gentlemen. Goodbye.
Oh.
Please, take a seat. The show's gonna start soon.
Bourbon moon hangs in the sky. My man has left with a golden smile. This is so funny. You can kill me, honey. I'm already dead inside. My body is an empty bottle. Come on, baby, just give us
Sonny. Sonny.
say Chloe's still lying in my bed, and it's dead.
That was, unique.
Oh, that is cute. Nobody has ever given me such a unique compliment before.
Forgive me, my name is Santino Featherland.
I thought so. You look more or less like I imagined.
More or less.
Sometimes less is more, Mr. Featherland.
Ahem. You were amazing, dear. As always.
Could you be my little furball and fetch me a cocktail?
But of course.
Ibn will be back soon. We'll have a few minutes to talk. Then he'll end the conversation and throw you both out.
With all due respect, ma'am, we're not that easy to get rid of. Doesn't matter who's trying, believe me.
Doesn't matter, he'll do it. That's why I'm telling you. I don't want a scene. My room's upstairs. Meet me there in 20 minutes. Come alone, Sonny. You'd be too conspicuous otherwise.
Hey,
I understand. You know, they call him Target Marty at the station.
I don't have time, Mr. Featherland.
Sure thing, Natasha. I'll come to your room. 3 knocks, a short pause, then another 3.
I'll be waiting. Go, before he comes back.
I knew she was trouble the first time I saw her. She wore danger like a perfume. It was simply part of her being, and it attracted me, like light attracts the moth people. I wanted to be the microphone as she whispers her melodies, or the pillow she rests her feet on while reading some cheap romance. I wanted to be her nightdress, barely touching, barely covering her marble skin. But I was a cop, and a lifetime wouldn't be enough to rid myself of what a woman like her hides under her makeup. Keep your distance, Sonny. Just keep your distance. Gee, that is a, unique picture, and kind of daring. I admit I've never seen anything quite like it before.
Yes, I admit it's a little daring. I keep it. It evokes good memories. A precious old friend of mine. A most wonderful artist.
He's got an eye, that's for sure, considering his model.
Was that supposed to be some kind of compliment?
I don't know. I don't compliment often. Not on purpose, anyway.
Oh, you're funny.
I bet you spend a lot of your time staring into the mirror. Do you even recognize yourself?
Maybe you were trying to be rude, but, you know, that's a very good question.
I was just trying to be rude.
Oh, really? Well, then I'm sorry.
Don't mention it. This woman's aware of her charm, and she knows how to use it. A rare and dangerous combination.
How do you like your bourbon, Mr. Featherland?
In a glass. But thanks, I had a couple before I came. I feel like this may be a long night.
I hope it doesn't bother you if I have one myself.
I get offended if women don't drink in my company.
Oh, you are a funny guy.
So I've been told. Anyway, lovely room.
Yes. Look, Mr. Featherland.
It's sunny. Saves us a lot of time.
Okay, Sonny.
So, why am I here?
You know, men tend to babble in my presence.
It must be exhausting.
It is. But you're not the type to beat around the bush.
Is it too banal if I tell you it's an occupational hazard?
Terribly.
So can I start the unpleasant questions?
I've asked you here so you can do what you do best.
Really? I thought you asked because you wanted me to investigate for you. But if you'd rather be drinking...
You do have a sense of humor. How reassuring.
Only if I'm a bit hungover. That's usually quite common.
Oh, please drop the act about being the alcoholic, heartbroken ex-cop, Sonny. It would undoubtedly suit you, but I've seen you scanning my room. From the second you set foot in here, you started working, and everything I say gets sorted in your brain. Am I right?
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, it's something like that.
Well then, Sonny, come at me.
Oh, that's something I don't hear often. With pleasure. Natasha is a confident woman. I can exploit that. But I must be careful. Every part of her oozes danger. That was a remarkable performance.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Do you perform here frequently? You're also the owner, if I'm not mistaken.
Sadly, I don't have the time. But the stage still calls my name, and I perform just a few times a year, and always with a new song.
So that was all the excitement.
I have many admirers, if that's what you mean. Yes.
The place is very elegant, and so's your room.
Why, thank you.
I kind of feel like I'm in a museum.
Well, that depends on the kind of museum.
The kind with nice things.
Oh,
Suspiciously nice things. Just like you.
do you think I'm suspicious?
We'll see about that.
Try me.
Do you think one of your admirers might be behind the threats?
Those who admire me usually idolize me. No, I don't think it's one of them.
You know, the soul of an animal is extremely complicated. Sometimes all it takes is a bad look or some small rejection to turn admiration into hate.
That's a stillborn theory. No one hates me if they once loved me, Mr. Detective.
Ah, I see. Do you have any material evidence concerning the threats?
You may think I'm irresponsible, but I didn't keep any of it. I simply couldn't bear to look at them.
Didn't you think maybe the police would need it?
I didn't think I needed the police. Moreover, do you think the girlfriend of Ibn Wessler could ever turn to the cops?
I see. So, what about me? How do I come into the picture?
It sounds ridiculous, but you're my last hope.
That does sound ridiculous, but I accept my ego and old habits.
You can't do anything else, can you?
Something like that. A leopard can't change its spots. Deep behind the diamond skin lies the truth. It doesn't matter how hard Natasha's trying to hide it. She's scared. Now I must concentrate to finally find out what I want to know. What was in those threats, exactly?
The message itself is not a threat. It's just a word.
But a word again and again is threatening.
Exactly.
So,
You really don't have any idea which word could be used for a woman like me?
I guess I do. Yes, I think I know what it could be.
Whore. Cat got your tongue? Am I right? You heard it. I I said what you were thinking. And yes, that was in the message. That was printed on the paper and painted on my wall in giant red letters.
Well, thank you for your honesty. Could the threats have anything to do with the dangerous relationship between you?
You mean I'm a cat and he's a rat?
Every interracial relationship has risk. But yes, this one's more conspicuous than most.
Clawville's a very open and free city, but I guess you see more radical trends.
One of the most common causes in homicidal and predatory cases, ma'am. So, yes.
Well, I don't know about that. Nobody ever questioned our relationship openly. We are what we are. And you know, if you're interested in my personal feelings, danger fills our relationship with a flavor no other can replace.
It must be one interesting relationship, that's for sure. I'm not sure I can feel the same, but I can certainly understand it.
Maybe one day you'll experience it, Sonny. Have you ever been with a predator before?
Well,
Well,
that's unsteady ground, Natasha. Let's turn the questioning around if you don't mind.
as you wish, Sonny.
How many fools like me have you used up, Natasha?
In all my life? Well,
I just forget it. I don't want to know. Curiosity killed the cat. No pun intended.
I'm just joking. You're not a fool, Sonny. I know that was supposed to be a kind of insult, but it usually rolls right off me. I can't take cockadoodling, so you can put aside the strutting stuff while you're talking to me.
Fair point. Broadcast received, ma'am. Natasha is a mysterious woman, but I must gouge out at least one of her secrets. Enough games. It's time to know why I'm here. Let's stop beating about the bush. How do you know Molly?
I'm prepared for that question, but it's still not easy.
You knew very well that if you threw in the name of my wife, I'd come to you, no matter how vague and suspicious the case was. I just want to know if you're simply a manipulator, or you're really that desperate.
I really know her. I'm not lying.
Oh, really? How? Were you a nurse, too? Forgive me, but I don't think so.
Don't be rude and so cynical, Sonny.
I'm sorry, but that's me when feline claws are at my throat.
Molly is an old and good friend of mine. She has nothing to do with this, but I knew that if I didn't mention it to you, you wouldn't have come.
Yeah, Natasha, you're right there.
I knew you were a decent fowl, that you would help me. That's what you're famous for.
Don't go there. Flattery doesn't work.
Look, forgive me. I shouldn't have brought your wife into this.
You're right, you shouldn't have. But to be honest, I don't think she's my wife anymore. On paper she is, but I haven't seen her in years.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Really?
I did. I knew. I checked you out before I sent Deborah.
Cluck me. This case is getting more and more intriguing. What exactly do you want from me?
You are really as good as they say you are. And I'm not selling lucky dips, Sonny. Find them, whoever they are, and
Whatever it takes?
not exactly, but something like that.
You know, if I didn't see the speck of fear behind the confidence shining in your eyes, I wouldn't take the case.
I'm not afraid.
You're terrified, Natasha. Don't be ashamed.
You must solve this. As soon as you can. Money's not an issue. Just one more thing, Sonny.
Natasha?
Please, come to 37 Rochester Street in Flower Town tonight. I'd like to show you something that could be of a great help in your investigation.
I was afraid this was coming. Why there? Why not here and now?
It's something I keep hidden there. I won't take the risk of Ibn or one of his men seeing it.
Isn't Ibn too dangerous to keep secrets from?
Sonny, a woman is naked without her secrets. I knew you would understand.
Oh yeah, I understand everything. So, when do we meet? The night is almost over.
I'll be there in an hour. Don't be early, and don't be too late.
Look, Natasha, you know,
Please, this is very important to me.
sure, I get it. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Until later, Natasha.
Goodbye, Sonny.